I'm joined now by the chair of Migration Watch. It's Alp Mehmet. Alp, great to have you on the show. Thank you very, very much. First things first, the legal stuff. So now it's emerged that Keir Starmer's flagship plans to bring down net migration almost definitely won't work.
My question is, what plan exactly? There isn't anything that is designed to bring numbers down, and it just isn't going to happen. Quite rightly, the Migration Advisory Committee has said, really, if you're just focusing on skills, it ain't going to happen anyway. But the fact is that they are supposed to be bringing net migration down. And nothing they've done so far will do that.
People initially thought that the idea that you could only really employ a foreign national if you were also training a British national might lead employers to just go for British. And now what this report appears to be saying is that it won't at all, which is a blow, isn't it?
Well, it won't, because if you look at migration, you've got 1.2 million people coming here. They're not all coming here to work. Some are. You've got, what, 350,000 who are coming here to work. The rest, and we're talking about skilled workers coming here, the rest are unskilled. Yeah. They're dependents. They're coming here not necessarily to work. If they're going to work, they're going to work in very low-paid jobs. They're going to be a cost to the state. Simple as that.
OK. And I do think, because I will say this till I'm blue in the face, something is happening now with the 16 to 25-year-old age bracket. And I think that some of them are getting into the world of work for the first time, albeit in some cases part-time jobs, and they are seeing with their own eyes what is going on around them in their own workforce. And they are seeing their first pay packets coming through and realising now the value of money and questioning where that money is going. For example, Alp, 1 in 100 and every 117 residents in places like Hillingdon now is an asylum seeker / an illegal immigrant. And I mean, everyone can see this with their own eyes now, can't they? That is a problem, isn't it?
Well, I mean, there's all sorts of anecdotal evidence to suggest that there are a lot of people who are coming here who are simply being taken on because they're cheaper. They don't have the skills always. I know from people who are constantly in touch, for example, some of the IT workers who've come in, they're just not up to it. There are all sorts of others, frankly, who, even the care workers, we found out the care workers coming in didn't have a clue what they were coming for. And this is what happens when you abandon any control in the way that has. You're pushing out to local agents to do the recruiting for you. Of course there's going to be abuse.
Well, indeed. Let me just put something to you here, because Labour are saying that deportations are at a high, the highest for 5 years. They've managed to get some flights off to places like Pakistan, for example. And I believe today that Yvette Cooper has scheduled for 7 asylum hotels to close. So Labour might say that actually when it comes to illegal immigration, they are doing something.
Well, yeah. When you actually look at the figures, I mean, they announced last week that 13,500 had been flown back. The vast majority of those were voluntary, for goodness sake. Not only were they voluntary, but there were 600 at least who were given £3,000 each, including children, to go back to Brazil. A lot of these people are here, they come, they overstay, they become illegal, and yeah, quite rightly, they need to go back. But do we really need to pay them £3,000 to do that? On top of that, it's about £500,000 paid for each charter flight. So we're talking about, if we're going to pay everyone £3,000 to go back, put them on a plane,
we're also talking
millions.
We're also talking about £5.4 billion a year being wasted just on the kind of bare bones of our asylum system. And when you look at graphs like the one that I brought up on your screen earlier of some of those places in the UK, parts of those, I don't know if we might be able to bring that graph back up quickly, but some of those places, like Stoke-in-Trent, for example, where you've got huge numbers of people there who, when you walk around Stoke, conceivably, if you just look around, there's every chance that every time you open your eyes on that high street, there we go, you are going to be looking at an illegal migrant. And then you have to question, don't you? Well, hang on a minute, who is paying for that? Derby, Liverpool. I mean, Liverpool's a massive city. So are we really saying that roughly speaking, is that one in every, I make that probably about 180, 190 people in Liverpool is an asylum seeker or an illegal immigrant? I mean, that's an astonishing number, really. Yeah, but who is paying for that?
Sorry, Patrick, just to come in there, the fact is that those who have been sent back so far, they're not the people that you're talking about. They are not going to go anywhere. They're going to stay here. They're going to stay in hotels. They're going to stay wherever they're put up. They're going to be given pocket money, and eventually they'll be told, OK, you can stay. Those who've gone back so far, they've gone to countries like Romania, they've gone to countries like Vietnam, to Brazil. That's the easy bit. What about those that we find it difficult to remove? What are they doing about those? How are they going to stop those from coming here? Because nothing they've done so far is going to deter anyone from coming here.
Well, there we go. Labour obviously say they're working on it and they're laying the groundwork. But Alp, thank you very much.